Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
All right, Shalawam. First and foremost, let's start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BaHashem YAHAWASHI, BaHashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the great millstone, the midnight torment is truth. Peace and salutation, brakathum to all you sincere Akim out there that's laboring in this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and 2016, that was when that clip was played, with Trump promising that he was going to, come out with the whole entry-exit visa, okay, for so-called immigrants and so-called migrants, right? But it wasn't the time, all right? Now you fast forward 10 years later, we're in 2026, okay? And then you see, you had Biden during his administration let all these so-called migrants into the country, all right? And that's just the perfect scenario for them to push this, as we see, digital ID is being pushed on a large scale. You got certain countries, they are already developing digital IDs, or they already have digital ID in place. So it's just a matter of time. And brothers know already, or we should know, that that device that they're talking about is according to prophecy, according to Revelation, the 13th chapter, which is the MOTB, all right, which is the micro C-hip. And this is how they're going to be able to track your every movement, the transactions you make, because the scriptures do say that, you're not going to be able to buy or sell here in this society unless you have the mark, okay? And the mark is charagma in the Greek, which means, incision, and basically you being implanted with that microchip, all right? You're not going to be able to buy or sell here in this society, all right? And this thing is going to be global. It's not just going to be here in America, but it's going to be throughout, all right? And right now it's no better time, right, for them to push this thing, man, because, that's going to be their thing. If you decide you don't want to get the MOTB, you're going to be deemed as a domestic terrorist, okay? This is the time we're in, man. Right now, you got Trump talking about he's going to invoke the Insurrection Act, which is going to allow the military troops to come in and lock this place down, create martial law, you see? So we're definitely in a time of Jacob's trouble, according to Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. We're definitely in those times, and things are going to escalate even more. It's going to be a time of trouble, time of uncertainty, okay, for many here in America, all right? But for the true believers, for the elect, we're not worried, because we understand that these things have to take place in the earth before our Lord comes back. Through great tribulation, that's how we're going to enter into the kingdom of the Most High, you see? And it's not by coincidence, I believe 2 days ago, that Trump, he banned about 75 countries from coming in. See, what we're seeing is that, in order to be here in America, you're going to have to get down with this beast system, which is going to be worldwide. But I'm just saying right now in America, because this is where the great destruction is going to take place. Okay, you got people that they came from near and far to travel to come to America, and then they come to find out this place, is basically like a third world country. Okay, that whole American dream of coming here and being successful and raising your family and things like that, and these people, okay, they're coming to the realization that it's all bullshit. All right, and really it's for you to either hear the truth spoken about through the men of the Lord and repenting so you can receive salvation, or to be destroyed, okay? Destroyed in this upcoming destruction, World War III, okay, where this place is going to be nuked by missiles, man. So, all right, because a lot of those so-called migrants, they're Israelites, man. From the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, because you got so-called Haitians here, so-called, Jakes from West Africa, okay? Then you got the northern kingdom, guys, people from South America, okay? Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Peru, so on and so forth, man. Spanish-speaking tribes, that are here. And then you see that ICE is snatching up Gad, which is the North American Indians. Okay, those are also Israelites. You see, so there's a lot of things going on, man. All right, so we got to be constantly in tune to what's going on and constantly watching for these prophecies, man. All right, but let me get a scripture real quick. This is not gonna make this too long. All right, because it mentioned in Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, which we're definitely living in these times right now. This is Second Esdras 15, Second Esdras 16. Daniel the 12th chapter, Jeremiah the 30th chapter. All these things that take place right now on the earth. All right, but real quick, this is Second Esdras chapter 15, and I'm going to go straight to the point because the whole chapter is good, but I just want to go straight to the point. So I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And that's what you see right now with this whole, thing going on in Minnesota. All right, people are protesting. People are fed up with this whole ICE raids and things like that. And eventually what's going to lead to straight up anarchy, straight up, insurrection, okay, among the people is going to be, like scriptures mentioned in Isaiah the 19th chapter, is going to be Egyptians against the Egyptians, which are you modern day Americans, okay, because this place is spiritually Egypt, according to Revelation 11th chapter, you see. So this is what they want. The elites, the higher ups, they want to, it's a phrase that they use, all right, a Latin phrase called auto abkeo, which is order out of chaos. All right, so they have to, make a scenario where the chaos is happening, because a lot of those protesters, those are like basically they were sent there. Okay, those are like basically they're what you call it, like they're being sent there to cause the chaos. All right, cause the uproars. All right, so what they can basically bring in martial law. All right, that's what they're doing. They're bringing in martial law. They're soon gonna have it where you're going to have to conform to these laws, these draconian laws or whatnot, because soon they're going to institute where it's going to be lockdowns, it's going to be curfews, you see, and eventually the ultimate control over you is going to be where you're going to have to get that implantable chip. Okay, however they're going to put it out there, whether it's a entry exit visa, biometric, is all the same thing. It's basically a device, a tracking device where you're going to be tracked. Okay, that's why they want all these smart cities available, so they could have basically everything, on camera, surveillance, tracking your every move. You see? So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, man. So that's one of the main key points, okay, that they want to control your every move. You're not going to be able to go into a different city unless you have some type of documentation or papers, all right? Because just like I mentioned, you had Trump basically banning about 75 countries or whatever. They can't enter into the U.S., because their visa is banned. Okay, so these are the things that we're about to witness. We're about to see very soon, where there's going to be ultimate control. Okay, it's going to be as a dystopian society. Okay, AI, robots. This is going to be the new norm here in America and throughout. You see, because that prophecy of the MOTB, it has to come to pass. Right now, we're hearing about, the wars, rumors of wars, what's going on in Iran and, different places of the world, Trump and the U.S. trying to get Greenland and all that. But there's so many things that have to take place, as far as not saying so many things and all in all, but that chip has to be mandatory. It has to be in this society before the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right. So let me get matter of fact, let's get the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of Salakia. Let's see, we're bugging out. All right, this is why is it doing that? Salakia. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. It was showing me second Ezra the 15th chapter. I don't know why. But it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right. So right now we're standing upon our watch. The Lord has made us watchmen unto the nation of Israel. Okay. We're supposed to be watching out for these prophecies. Okay. And relaying the message and feeding the sheep of YAHAWASHI. That's our job. That's our job. We got to stay upon our watch. You see? So it says, and the Lord YAHAWASHI answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that read it. Right. We're making it clear, the vision, as you can see right now, things are coming into where this man is ready to lock this place down. You see what I'm saying? And brothers having visions. You had brother had a vision of actually seeing, the king of Babylon, DJ Trump, basically ushering that mark of the beast, man, the chip. You know what I'm saying? Just like how he did 10 years ago, made that great announcement. When I heard that, I thought we was out of here, man. But see, things have to unfold first. You see, that's why this is all the Most High is doing. All right. Because I really thought that was the time. But now, see, forward 10 years later, right? Now we're actually seeing how things are going to be, how things are going to unfold very soon. All right. because we're constantly watching, we're constantly looking for the prophecies, man, looking for the, things to take place according to the scripture. That's how, but we know that it's close. Okay, we know that it's close because the Lord said to measure the time. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're measuring the time. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. See, back then, things would seem like it was tarrying, but now things are going so fast, man. Because why? The Lord said he has to speed up the time, man. That he had to cut the days short for the elect's sake. Because if not, then no flesh shall be saved. All right. So, though it looked like it was tarrying for a minute, but now things are happening in the earth every other day, or let me say every day since 2026. Every day, man, is breaking news. Okay, so things are not tarrying no more. All right, it's going fast, man, because the Lord got to get us out of here at a certain time, man. He got to cut this thing short. He got to, destroy this place, man. So right now, things are happening. Things are happening. All right, you can't deny that. Average people in the world seeing that this got to be the end, man. You never seen the world in such utter chaos as it is right now. No time period ever, So it says, behold, Salakia. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So his soul, which is talking about Esau, Edom, okay, the so-called white man, all right, the soul that's within him is not upright because the Lord didn't make him to be righteous. You see what I'm saying? He was created to be the wicked. Now the Lord, he created a vessel to be of honor and a vessel of dishonor. See, we're the vessel of honor. All right, we're the Israelites. We're created to be the righteous. Okay, on the earth, and these devils, these Edomites, they were created to be the wicked. You see, so when it says the just shall live by his faith, that's the time we're coming into, man. As far as the elect, okay, what's going to save us is our faith, man, and also through our works as well. But really, it's about having faith in YAHAWASHI and trusting in him, through this process of us going through this time of tribulation. Okay, that's how the elect are gonna be delivered, man, by the faith of you believing that Yahawah Hashem Yahushai is gonna he's gonna be there for us, man. Okay, through the time of famine, through the time of persecution, okay, even death, man. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures do say, matter of fact, let me get that, because that's another part of prophecy as well, man. You're going to have brothers that's going to be martyrs. They're going to have to die for not taking the chip, okay? Because the prophet John on the island of Patmos, he's seen men getting beheaded for not taking the mark of the beast, and also for the testimony of YAHAWASHI. That persecution, men are going to be put to death, man, for speaking this word, okay? But hear what the Lord said. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 13. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. You see, blessed are the dead, all right, those that pass on in the faith, men that came and while they was on the earth, they was faithful all the way to the very end. Guess what? The Lord has, they're basically of the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't wither, they didn't they kept it, 100 all the way to the very end, man. They didn't wither in the faith. They was without wavering. They were just constantly doing the work, man, until the Lord called them back. So guess what? Those men are going to return back with YAHAWASHI, all right, when the Lord comes back. And they're going to be of the elect. They're going to be the first fruits. You see what I'm saying? So we understand that death is just a transition. We're basically just sleeping until the time comes when the Lord sends us back. If we are to die in the faith, with in time of Jacob's trouble, all right, it's all right. It's better for you to die for the Lord than you die for some wicked reason, okay? Because the scriptures do mention that no one perishes being innocent, but yet you have the righteous that do perish, man. Okay, and guess what? A lot of people might talk shit and say, "Oh yeah, well, he must have been wicked and whatnot," but that's not the case always, man. The Lord could have been basically preserving you, keeping you from going through the time of Jacob's trouble, or in fact, or whatever. The Lord only knows, man. All right, but still, the scriptures mention. Matter of fact, let me read on. It says, "Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them." Right. So, whatever you put into this ministry, putting into the work, hey, you're gonna get a reward for that. Okay, your works do follow you. It's a thing of, you're gonna see this place, this world. They have amnesia. When somebody does something, especially a man of the Lord, that's something that's great in the eyes of the Lord, right? People don't remember that, but the Lord remembers that. The angels remember that, and they're giving an account of that. You know what I'm saying? They're writing down everything that we do. Our life is being recorded. Everything is written. So the Lord is not unjust to forget your works and labor of love, towards his name. You see? So don't worry what the world think, all right? Because as you know, the world is wicked, okay? But if you're a man of the Lord and you really, truly believe in this thing, guess what? You're going to be rewarded for that, man. All right? For it says in Romans, matter of fact, I'm not going to make this too long. In Romans 12:1, right? It says, "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service," man. You see? So we're presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. This is our sacrifice to the Heavenly Father. When we basically we cut off everything of the world, you know what I'm saying? And whatever it is that we were into, okay, or we hold dear to, we cut that off to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's family, loved ones, careers, right? We understand that, all right, at the end of the day, that don't mean nothing. Because what did the Apostle Paul mention? He said, "I count all things as dung just to serve Yahweh Shai." Everything is basically is nothing compared to what we're about to receive, right, in the kingdom very soon. You see? So, yeah, man, just understand that, everything that we do is not in vain. We're going to be rewarded for doing this work, man. Okay? And if it takes us being put to death for this truth, so be it, man. It was written for us to, go through that. Okay? But, either way, man, this is the time we're in. All right? Things are going to eventually, of course, is going to increase. The time of evil is going to increase in the earth, but we got to be circumspect. We understand the times we're coming into, that this devil is going to come down having great wrath, right? Because why? He knows, but he has a short time. They want to push this thing basically before 2030. Their whole thing is about having it, people chipped already by 2030, but they want to have it before 2030. That's why they got this dude, this devil, okay, King of Babylon, which I don't see nobody coming in after this guy, truly. You know what I'm saying? To push this this MOTB, man. And then after that, World War III. Okay. All right. This thing been set up, man, ever since, the first term, 2016. This is what they want. That they want that implantable microchip to be in everybody. Okay. And that's the reason why Biden sent all these migrants here. All right. It's not by coincidence. So with that, I'm going to end it there. All praises due to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Till the next time I say Shalawam.